What's up, YouTube? It's Brian here, and today, peep out the two new additions in the background. One, Hermione's hanging out today. She's felt a little left out of my life recently, so say what's up. Oh, she's going through a Pokemon phase. I don't know. It's kind of weird. We don't really talk about it that much, so just, you know. And also, the 1,000,000 subscriber plaque is up on the wall. It looks nice and pretty. I had a hard time hanging it up because, you know, I feel like I'm pretty good at a lot of things. I found out that handyman stuff, not my forte. Today, we're gonna be answering some of the most interesting, the most juicy, the juiciest, I should say. And really, just the questions that girls want to ask guys, but for whatever reason are too afraid to. Answers to 20 questions girls are afraid to ask guys. This one's from College Candy, okay? So this is youthful and sweet, just like me. All right, here we go. The first question all girls have about guys, and I saw this one coming. Why are guys obsessed with boobs? So the answer, according to this article, by the way, is we're attracted to them because we don't have them, and it's what our guy brains just want. That is the most stupid guy response I could have possibly imagined. Honestly, this is a good question though, because I don't know if this is a scientific thing. I think it must be. Like, what makes boobs attractive? Like, I used to always say this, like, this is kind of a weird way to look at it, but a boob is really just fat. And the thing that guys and girls from a physique standpoint have in common is the nipple. But for whatever reason, the nipple is what is like considered private on a girl. When in fact, that's the thing we actually both have. We both have the nipple. That's always kind of confused me. Aren't boobs just fat? So why are fat boobs attractive, but then we don't want to have fat in our stomach? Why is fat in our chest area hot, but then in your stomach it's not? Like, I don't really follow that one. That's kind of weird to think about. I think my answer honestly would be boobs are nice because they're soft and they're comfortable to lay on, they're fun to touch, and I don't know. I think it's just driven in our brains that we like boobs a lot. And I think anyone can appreciate a nice set of boobs. Number 2, what do you think of all the selfies girls post on social media? The answer, by the way, is as long as it's not overdone, I don't mind an occasional selfie. I think they're just a ploy to get likes and it's a confident booster, but once in a while is fine. I mean, guys do this too. This is not just a girl thing. I personally never really judge people off their social media or like content. And the reason why is because being a YouTuber, I know a lot of YouTubers and I know YouTubers who are exactly what they're like on camera, and I know YouTubers who aren't, and I don't judge them either way. My thing is I just like to base my judgments on people on in-person encounters. It's just the way I operate. So personally, I don't care how many selfies you post, and if they look good, I'm gonna like them. What do you really want to do on a date? Ooh, that's a good question. I like this one. Not even trying to be corny, but if I really like a girl, I don't care what we do as long as it's a chance to get to know each other better. I'd be cool with making dinner or doing something competitive like mini golf. I agree with this answer the most so far. I've been single for a long time, but I've gone on many dates. I just think the process of dating is fun and exciting, and there's a lot of excitement to it, there's nervousness to it, and I will say the one thing I've learned about dates that I definitely do is I always want to put myself in a position where I can learn as much as possible about the other person. One, I'm just intrigued by people, so I want to hear like more about them than I do want to talk about myself the whole time. 2, I think that's a good thing to do on any date because that shows that you're interested in someone and shows that you're not self-centered. And lastly, yeah, I think as far as what to do on the date, I agree with whoever wrote this article. It's just like you want a good chance for you to get to meet someone. Like, a movie is the worst first date possible in my opinion, because you're not gonna talk. You're just gonna sit there awkwardly through a movie, you know? Like, a movie is like a fun thing to do once you know someone and you're comfortable just being with them and you don't need to talk. So for me though, if I had to choose a specific thing, I like to grab drinks with someone just because I enjoy a drink and I think it lightens the mood, but I also think there are some really fun things. I once took a first date, and this first date ended up being my ex-girlfriend, but I took her to a indoor trampoline place. It was really fun, and then we got in and out. So that was a good first date. So if you ever need a good first date, go to an indoor trampoline park. Lots of fun. Number 4, thoughts on PDA. This one will be interesting. I feel like a lot of times there are people who do it in public places and it's just inappropriate, but at the same time, I love showing off that a girl is mine. Pretty good answer here. I think there's a difference between being proud and showing off what you have and like being like affectionate just in public. I'm not a big PDA fan. I don't like over-the-top lovey-dovey PDA stuff. I am super intimate and super romantic and super like cheesy between like me and the person that I'm interested in. I just think it's so gross, man, when people are over the top with it. And this is just my take on it. This is not a guy's take on it, because I know people that are much more comfortable with PDA. But like, I'm the type of person where like, if I were dating someone, like my actual girlfriend, and we were like at a party with other people, like of course we'd be by each other, but we wouldn't be like totally snuggled up on each other the entire time. I just think sometimes that makes other people feel uncomfortable. So I'm not a huge fan of it. But like, obviously if I'm at Disneyland with my girlfriend that I don't have, I would want to hold her hand. But again, to reiterate, I don't have one. So this is just fantasy. But Disneyland's a fantasy, so it's okay. Number 5, what's so exciting about football? Oh my God, here we go. There's tailgating, hot cheerleaders, guys beating each other up. But mostly I like that there are a limited number of games, so it's a weekly event where I get to hang out with friends and be dedicated to my team. I mean, not every guy likes football. Like, I think it's funny, like in LA, where I live now, a lot of my friends don't care about sports, but like back in Ohio, like, oh my God, sports is like everything. I'm a huge sports fan, including football. I played sports my whole life, so part of it is that it's a hobby that I grew up doing and liked a lot. The other part of it is I'm very competitive, and I like to compete, and I like to watch competition. I kind of would say sports are like the best version of reality TV, because it truly is reality TV. You don't know what's going to happen. Nothing's set in stone. You don't know who's going to win. And if it's something you like doing, it's obviously you were going to like watching it. It's like YouTube, the same way. What makes a girl dateable versus a fling? This is an interesting question. I'm going to kind of change the question, because I think it's something that I definitely have thought about before. Like, when I become interested in someone, a lot of times it'll like cross my head of being like, yo, so is this girl like girlfriend material? Is she someone I could just date for a bit? Is it someone that I'm just physically attracted to? Is she better off as a friend? And there's so many different variables that come into play. Like, this article says it has a lot to do with setting. I meet flings at a bar or a party, but girls I'm more interested in tend to be someone I met at a place where we had already had something in common besides trying to get drunk. I mean, I think there's some validity there, but I think it doesn't really matter when you meet someone. I think for me, obviously physical attraction is not everything, but it tends to be the first thing I'm like attracted to about someone. So what I will do is I'll be like, okay, I'm attracted to this person enough to want to know more about them. That's where like you start figuring out like how serious could this potentially be. I don't think it's the same for everyone. I think it's just more of like, do you have specific qualities that you value and you're looking for? And you start to figure that out as you get to know someone better. And so maybe at first you think they're really dateable, but then the more you get to know someone, you're like, yeah, you know, there's things I like, but there's a lot of things that I don't think mesh well. And that's where it may be more of a fling. Versus maybe the more you get to know someone, you figure out like, whoa, we actually like totally hit it off in way more ways than I thought. And then that's when it starts to get more serious. So I don't think there's a definitive answer. I think it varies for each person, but it's definitely a thing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's natural for you to kind of do a process of figuring out if someone is really the right fit for you or not. Number 7, can a guy and a girl be just friends? They said yes, but I think at some point one of them will develop an attraction to the other. If they can get over that, they're probably good. I say yeah, for sure, because people are attracted to people always. Like, there's levels of attraction. It doesn't mean you can't be friends with someone. I have friends that are very attractive and I would think they're attractive, but it's not gonna prohibit me from being a good friend to them, you know? So yeah, absolutely. Some of my best friends are girls and I have no problem with that. And of course there can be complications. Like, there's times where feelings get involved and it can get tricky, but 100% a guy and a girl can be friends. Number 8, does sex on a first date mean she's not girlfriend material? This person said it hurts the case, the chase is over, and that makes her less intriguing in the beginning of the relationship. You're an asshole, whoever said that, because you did the same thing to her, so she should be able to say that to you if that's how you feel. I think every relationship's different, starts off different. Some relationships develop quicker, some relationships, you know, they take their time with things. I don't think that should matter at all, and remember, it's a two-way street. So if she was okay enough to do it, you were also okay enough to do it. So if you're gonna try to sell her short because she was down, it doesn't even make sense. Number 9, do you judge girls by their jobs? No, I don't, but let's see what this person says. A little. If she has been waitressing or babysitting and seems content with no goals, it's a little concerning. I think this person worded it wrong. How I would have said it would have been like, I'm attracted to people that are driven and dedicated and passionate. People are at different places of their life. So someone could be a babysitter, but they may be working towards this really cool, you know, plan that they have to do whatever it is they really want to do. So I would never judge someone by their job or, you know, their title. I think it's more so like, do I feel like they're someone that's passionate and driven? And that's just the type of people I like to be around. I like to be around people who are pushing themselves to pursue things because it, encourages me to do the same. Why do guys just disappear or ghost instead of talking to a girl when they're not interested anymore? It's just easier to not have that "this is not going to work" conversation. This is not me. I am overly communicative, and sometimes that's a bad thing, but I definitely know people that are like this, and I have friends who are like this, and I have for sure told them, I'm like, dude, you're just getting yourself more of a headache. Just say you're not interested. It'll save you so much stress. But yeah, I think it's just an easy way out. I think it's like you don't want to have to deal with that hard conversation, so instead you're just going to cut off the person, and I just think that's really immature. But I think girls can do that too. I've been ghosted before, and it's not a good feeling. So if you ever just aren't interested in someone, it may feel like you're being more mean by telling them that straight up, but in reality, you're doing them such a favor. How hard do you stalk girls' social media pages? I'll take a quick look, but if she's too hard to find or private or something, I give up pretty easily. Oh, is this like assuming you don't know their social media? Oh, I don't know. I don't do this much. I have to say I don't ever like try to really creep to find someone's social media. Typically, if I want to find someone's social media, I'll ask them. So, number 14, what's the sexiest thing a girl has ever done for you? Ooh, hear that, Hermione? What's the sexiest thing you ever did for me, huh? I think for everyone it's different. Everyone has things they like. And I don't know if I can just choose one, but I've had some pretty cool experiences. But that's for me to know and you to wonder in the comments. What's your biggest turnoffs? Girls who only talk about themselves, too much makeup, being clingy. I think being self-centered is definitely a turnoff for just people in general. I don't like it when someone talks badly about other people a lot, when someone's judgmental, not open-minded, and is just mean to, like, if I feel like someone's mean, then that's a turn off for me. Turn-ons, nice eyes, good sense of humor, can be chill when we're just hanging out, but it's fun when we're out. Again, this is just so subjective. It's not like all guys think the same, but I like a good smile, someone who smiles a lot. Eyes are obviously nice. And then I think if there's someone that's fun to be around, that I just feel happy around. Oh, aggressive and not afraid to make the first move. That's a good one. When do you tell a girl that you love her? That's not something to take lightly, and there's no exact time frame, but I guess when you are past the initial butterflies, know her flaws, and still see long-term potential. Yeah, I don't think there's a time frame. I think it's when you just feel like you really do. Thoughts on padded bras, tees? What is that? Is that when it makes your boobs look bigger? I don't care. No matter what, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like what I see when you take it off, so it's fine. Where do guys go to for relationship advice? YouTube.com/Brian Redmon. I heard he's really great. Our guy friends, it's usually not the best advice, but it's who we feel most comfortable asking. Yeah, I think it depends. I actually go to my girlfriends a lot more. They tend to have a little bit more insight than my guy friends do. No offense to my guy friends. And then lastly, how long should you date before having sex? I think 3 dates rule is a good standard if you're both ready. Any sooner and it's like, whoa, she's a little easy. Any longer and it's like, does she even like me? Why is this such a gender thing, y'all? I'm sorry, but like, this just looks so bad for guys to say. She's a little easy. This is not an objective. 1. 2, then you're easy. Like, she shouldn't be the one that has to say no. You can say no. So if you think it's not respectful to yourself to have sex so soon, why don't you try being the one to say that? Like, it's just stupid. The male species sometimes just makes me so mad. We'll complain about getting shit, but I'm like, look at what you're saying and doing. My God, I'm so sorry. There isn't a right time, in my opinion. I think it's when you both feel ready and comfortable. Anyway, there you guys have it. Those were 20 questions girls are apparently too afraid to ask guys. Hopefully, myself in the article answered them and gave you some insight. And I'm sure there's a lot of questions guys have about girls that we just have no idea about, but are probably too afraid to ask as well. But anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about these questions and what other questions you would want to ask a guy, but maybe you're too afraid to ask. Also, let me know any other video ideas you guys want to see, because if I ever use your suggestion, I'll shout you out in that video. If you haven't already, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts, links down below. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for new videos every single week. And until next time, keep it real, banana peels. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!